Hi, I'm Brian Noble, CEO of Family Policy Institute of Washington.
And I'm Brad Payne, president of FPIW Action.
Couple disclaimers before we get started today. Nothing in this video is an endorsement of the candidate, nor the candidate's endorsement of FPIW or FPIW Action. It's simply a public service to meet and greet the candidate.
All right. Well, good morning, Jim. Appreciate you being on with us.
You bet. This is exciting.
All right. Well, I've got a three-part question for you to start. If you would just tell everybody your name and the specific position you're running for, follow that up with a little bit about you and your family, and then tell us about your experience for this position.
That's four parts.
You can do them all.
I'm Jim Wilson. I'm running for the state senate in the 3rd district in the state of Washington, which is roughly the metropolitan Spokane area. As far as my background, I am not a politician. As, anyway, I'm not a politician. I grew up in Tacoma, just south of Tacoma in Lakewood. I went to Washington State University and graduated from there. Soon after working a couple of years at Seattle First National Bank, a friend and I bought a business in Tri-Cities that we developed into 3 or 4 other businesses. And when I moved up to Spokane, I went into real estate. I've been doing that for about 37 plus years. I have a beautiful wife of, I should know this, 39 years. And I have 3 great children, and I have 3.5 grandchildren. And I guess I would consider myself conservative and very Christian.
Excellent.
What was the fourth part? I can't remember.
No,
Oh,
I think you
yeah,
got, oh,
you
go ahead.
got it. Yeah.
Okay.
What is your primary promise to the public if you are elected?
Change. I didn't ever, like I said, I'm not a politician. I never intended, my goal is never to run for office. I never had that as one of my goals. And I was filling out my ballot before the primary and got ticked off. And I wrote my name in, and I told my wife to write her name in. And she goes like that. And I called 2 of my brothers-in-law and texted about 10 friends, and then it took on a life of its own. This is a longer story. We should do a movie. And we got enough ballots in a write-in campaign to make the ballot.
Mm.
And what made me angry, I think, was that one thing about I've learned that God has a sense of humor. I think he's trying to tell me, don't get angry unless you're going to do something about it. So here I am. But I think what got to me was that we're going the wrong direction. And I was in a debate this week with my opponent. And in my closing statement, I made the comment that this is the only time in my life when I can remember every segment of our society losing at the same time. You know, you can drive down the street and you can see homeless people and you see people laying in the gutter, but you can't see behind those facades, those big buildings where they house all the homeless in downtown Spokane. There's lots of major problems going on there. I could go on with stories about that. The middle class, you know, I don't like paying $4.09 for a gallon of gas, but the person who's really hurting is a single mom with 2 kids, or a family on the edge, or you know, anybody in the lowest end of the economic spectrum. $4 gas is harder when you have to make a decision between gas and rent and food. You know, it's so these things that are happening as a result of policies coming from Washington State that are being purported to be helping the people are hurting the most vulnerable people. And even the people who own businesses in cities, traditionally some of the better people who are on the upper end of the economic spectrum are hurting. And we've diverted consumerism away from local business into big business. And so I think we need to have more of a balanced approach in what we're doing in government, freedom, for lack of a better word, so that people can make informed decisions and not be forced to make those hard decisions about just living.
What do you feel like differentiates you most from your opponent?
I actually want to make a difference. So I don't need to do this. I mean, I'm not a wealthy man, but I'm probably to the age where people keep asking me, why aren't you retired? I don't need to do this. I mean, I'd rather go to the lake. I'd rather travel. I'd rather do stuff. I own a company and I still work every day, but I'm not viewing this as my job. I'm viewing this as a service. And I genuinely believe that with there have to be other people in Olympia that really want to make something happen. So if we can bring those people together, I think, not listen to the party bosses or not listen to the big contributors and just let's do it the best interest of the people. I think we can at least start to turn the things around.
All right. Our fourth and final question, which may be a little bit different since you did a write-in, but what did you learn during your primary campaign that is positively impacting your campaign in this general election? So it sounds like you kind of did a write-in. So I'm not sure that you had a primary campaign, but
Well, it's not traditional, I'll tell you that.
that's right. That's right. So whatever you like to say about that.
Well, it was funny because when I was filling out my primary ballot, it was about 8 o'clock on a Friday night before going on vacation. 10:30 the next morning, I get a call from the head of the Republican Party here in Spokane, and she says, Jim, there are people calling me up and they want to write your name in as a write-in candidate. And I started laughing, but I said, well, I'm not a politician, but I'm pretty sure the way you don't start your campaign is go on vacation. This was 2 weeks after the ballots had already started coming in.
Right.
But then there's this, you guys will understand this. You have those moments in your life where someone asks you a question or something and you have this, but it's only a second in real life.
Hmm.
And there's a little voice that's saying, do it. You could decide where the voice came from because I'm not in control of this. I, this is but I'll tell you, so the answer to your question is, what's every day, every single day, something happens. This morning, I get a text message from somebody I haven't talked to. I probably met 5 times in my life. I haven't talked to for months. And, keep going. And I get another text message from another guy. Look at my Facebook page. I'm telling people to vote for you. A couple of weeks ago, I went to the post office box where the donations come in, and I was kind of feeling down. This is kind of hard, actually. I opened an envelope, and there's a check for $1,000 donations, which is big for my campaign, from someone I don't know. Every day, something happens, or someone contacts me, or something that makes me get up and think, so. This is a Christian-oriented deal, right?
Hmm.
So you go to church every week. I actually do. And you hear the priest or the minister or the follow God's plan. And yes, 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 you have to do that. And then when he presents this plan that you got to be joking. You don't mean me. It tests your faith.
Yeah.
And I swear to you, the only thing that's keeping me going is my faith. Early on I discovered it wasn't about me at all. That's probably reassuring to the voters. It's not about me. There has to be change because this state, the community, our country is going the wrong way. And I usually finish my talks. I went back to a speech I saw from Ronald Reagan. Am I talking too much?
No, you're fine.
I saw a speech from Ronald Reagan before he was governor. And he was just starting to get into politics. And he was talking about a friend of his who met with two friends of his that met with a Cuban immigrant. And this was in the early 60s. So the Cuban immigrant was talking about when Castro came into Cuba, and then they were forcing socialism and communism and all the problems that were coming from that. And he finally made it to the United States. And one of the guys turns to the other guy and he says, man, we're sure lucky we live here. And the Cuban immigrant said, you're lucky. I had a place to go to. This is it. And I happen to firmly believe that this country has been blessed. If you study the founding fathers and the writings of the founding fathers and the documents that established this country, and you know history, we have been blessed with in every segment of our society on an unbelievable degree. We are living the best life of anybody in the history of the world. And it's in danger of slipping and going the wrong way. And I just can't stand by and watch.
All right. Well, Jim, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing with our audience. We appreciate having you on this morning.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm Brad Payne with FPIW Action.
And I'm Brian Noble with FPIW. Friendly reminder, nothing in this video is an endorsement of the candidate, nor the candidate's endorsement of
Oh no,
FPIW or
wait. Yes, it
FPIW
is.
action.
Yes, it is. And what are you? No, I'm kidding. Thank you.
Like we
You
like
know,
to
I
say
am a
around.
politician. Oh,
No, no, no.
anyway.
Those are all for the PDC requirements.
I'm just joking. I'm just
Yeah.
joking.
Like we like to say around here, go out there and defend and advance biblical values in the public
Thank
square.
you. I'm
God
going to
bless.
give a talk right now.